Forgot to wear a hat today. My head's very shiny and very bald, sorry. So it's Saturday morning, and there would be bus updates, but against my better judgment, I ordered stuff from Amazon, and it has not shown up yet. So, yeah, Amazon sucks, dude. I have been trying my best not to buy things from there, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. So, but I ordered because it's probably my own fault, so that I could return them if they didn't work. The rear leaf springs for the bus, and they aren't here yet. I don't know when they're going to be here. I have three things from Amazon, and all of them are just lost somewhere, so who knows. So bus is still in limbo, sorry. Get to it next week. If Amazon doesn't come through, I'll buy stuff from Rock Auto or whatever. I know I went a bit of grant yesterday about buying new stuff, but this is kind of I'm not going to buy used rusty leaf springs to go into that. So instead, working on, I showed the fender mounted. Well, I went ahead and mounted up the fender, I guess, and started throwing some electric at this thing. So it'd actually start with the key. So this is that upfitter. So this is from the '08 Power Stroke. It's the upfitter switch relay box. So you have two 25 amp circuits, 10 amp and a 15 amp, as well as a spot for some fuses, but they are not pinned. But you can go ahead, or I'm going to go ahead, I guess, and pin these micro fuses. So I can add some more stuff in there if I need to. All goes in this little box, clips in the fender. So that's working right now, is getting this wired up for all the power to the injection pump and the ECU. And we'll go from there. So most of this underhood wiring laid in. Using that fuse box. Have everything hooked up to the CUMMINS side. Bunch of leftover wires here. A couple of those I will need to attach for OBD2 port under the hood, or under the dash. And also I think there's a PTO takeoff and something else in there I need to dig out that I may need. And then everything is hooked into this power distribution box from an Audi TT. More recycling. I love using these things. So all that's set. And I pulled apart the harness for the ignition switch and figured out what everything is on that, so we can get it hooked up, have it start with the key. And I dug through my piles of stuff. And we have this monster to work with. This is the original harness out of the '06 6-liter. So I'm going to try to pick it apart and get the fuse box out so I can use that fuse box and those relays and everything in this truck. And as much of this harness as I can incorporate and thin out and whatever to recycle stuff. So that's next, is figure out how to get all this crap into there. So see what I come up with. This is a good time, I'll tell you what. But so I separated out this fuse box. It's the original underdash fuse box from the '06. So I've stripped out that much of the harness. There's a couple plugs missing, but I think that I have them around here someplace. But this is, I think I'm going to just go ahead and mount this under the dash. And I think it might still fit in that factory dash, but if not, we'll just make a bracket for it. It's no big deal. But plenty of spare wire here to work with. I am being super cheap. I do have a complete painless style harness here, but I think I want to save it for the bus. So yeah, I think I'll save this and use it in the bus and use this Ford stuff in here. Really don't need that many circuits in here. I might try to make like cruise and stuff work, but not a ton of circuits needed, but I guess I'll have extra. Thought about using the small underhood box, but I've already robbed a bunch of wires off of it. So this will be the one, I guess. In worst case, I can just leave circuits out or whatever. But it has a good number of relays, the maxi fuses. So whatever we want to add on to here eventually down the road, I'll have access for. So anyhow, got this spaghetti nest. I'll probably start sorting out what goes where and get it mounted up in the dash so at least the ignition and start circuit works. So obviously need a lot of cleaning up and tying everything together yet, but as you can see, everything is connected. Just needs tidied up. Everything's connected to the starter. Ran wiring through the firewall and have the fuse box in here. Ran a main power wire into it. Now we can just start adding everything into this. I think it's going to mount up here on the firewall. Still have to figure that out, but just sorting out all the base wiring just to make a start, and then I can start adding in all the other circuits for all the ancillary stuff that I need. But with it wired up, let's see what happens. Fast is running, that's good. Oh yeah. Gotta love that. So cool. Now I can button up all the extra connectors and find a place to hang the fuse box, and maybe hang the rest of the front clip on here to be able to run all the plumbing and everything. Start getting that plumbed in and figure out radiators and intercoolers. So onward and upward. All right, real quick before I wrap everything up and call it a day and clean up this disaster, went ahead and tossed the fenders and core support in and hung 6-liter intercooler up into place just to see. Pretty customized mounts here just to see what we're working with and how this can be changed around, I guess. This is how I had it set up when it was a 6-liter, and it fits behind the grill with a little bit of trimming, so seems ideal. Inlet side, super easy to pipe. Like, no problems at all. Straight shot. Hot side, well, not hot side, but turbo side. Either, I think I can just take a 90 out of there and do a straight shot into here. I just have to keep in mind the coolant hose. So, anybody that has experience with this, maybe chime in and tell me what I can do different. I don't know. I don't think that there's any advantage to clocking the turbo any direction. I think just come out of there and make a straight shot into the intercooler, hopefully. So let me know what you think I should do. I also am keeping in mind I might want to mount a AC box back there at some point to add AC to this thing. So I want to keep some room on the turbo manifold for that, but there's plenty of real estate, so I think we're all right. Plan on just cutting into these fenders and sinking a box into the inner fender for the batteries on either side. So just a battery on each side. Just French them into here and lower them down. There's tons of room underneath for that. So battery replacement should be no issue. Can't run them sideways really because they'll get an intercooler piping way. So otherwise though, looks like things are coming together. Fabrication wise, not a lot to do. So we will see. I guess the only issue with having a battery here is doing something with the air filter, but I can figure that out, I'm sure. Build some kind of air box. Well, we'll get to that. So, all right, well, I believe that's all I got for you today, and appreciate you following along. And maybe I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.